Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for August the 3rd through the 9th, 2020. So, before we begin, I want to take a moment and hold on one moment, because I forgot. This is, the tarot I'm going to be using is the Moon Child Tarot by Danielle Noel. It's written and illustrated by her. And so that's, I hope you like this deck. It's, you'll see the style of it. It's very cosmic, ethereal sort of feeling to the deck. And there's a lot of Egyptian sort of iconography throughout the deck. So, and beautiful pastels, dreamy colors, and sceneries. A lot of sort of moon, other world, other planetary kind of landscape feelings to it. So, one thing before we begin, I'd like to make you aware that for the month of August, my angel readings are still available to you at the special offer of my half-hour rate for $77 for 1 hour. So, as usual, you will go to my website, theangelschool.com, on the services page, and you will find there the half-hour link. You will not find a special offer link. You will click on that, and within 24 hours of the first business day, I will give you a confirmation email letting you know that you have received that special offer for the half hour for 1 hour. 1 full hour. Also, just to be aware that my office hours are Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, up to 6 p.m. So that we'll be working within that time frame. Be aware of that. I will send you, after the confirmation email, it will come with instructions about how to set up your reading. So I'm not able to hand out possibilities of appointments until I receive your payment, because I'm scheduling everyone in the order that I receive their payment, okay? So I can't make promises to you in that regard. So you would more than likely want to schedule a plan that for a week or two before you would receive an appointment time. Okay, so just allow for that time. I really don't do emergency, I need to talk to you right now readings. That for me means you need to be talking to someone in the kind of help that you need. You need to be working with someone, like I said, if it's a medical, I don't do that anyway. But you should be speaking to someone like that. If it's financial, you should be speaking to someone like a financial accountant or someone like that, or planner. So this is about being in a space where you have time to really hear what your higher self is wanting to help you with at the time. Also, don't forget to follow the daily card messages on my YouTube page. There, I post the writings there, as well as my Facebook page. You can find that description link below. You can reach us through Twitter. And also the monthly angel scopes for each zodiac sign will be late, but it will be coming, okay? So I thank you for your patience with that. All right, so now let's tune in and really connect in with your higher self's wisdom, and just let go of any judgments, especially the tension that you might be giving to flaws. This is the word they wrote. So you may be paying a lot of attention to your personal flaws or the flaws of others. Either way, when you do this, whether it's directed to yourself or towards another, you are bringing this up to the attention of the universal laws of attraction, which is just going to give you more of that. You're going to, see more instances of the flaws that irritate you. And that's how you know just how powerful you are. There's no special meaning behind it. It's just showing you the technology of your soul and your personal power. They're also just writing the word crystal and faster. And I feel like if you're trying to manifest, or especially trying to direct your intention about something that you truly desire, they're reminding you that the crystals will help you to not only align with an intention, but also amplify that intention that is in alignment with the energy of the crystal. So if you can find the crystal that is aligned with the energy of influence. For instance, I'm saying healthy. So you may be really looking for a healthy love relationship. Then you would work with rose quartz. And there's some other types of crystals that also work with maybe different aspects of love more specifically. And you would work with that crystal, catalog, find out what that is, and work with that crystal's frequency, and align your own intention with it to amplify that sense of healthy relationships, healthy, loving, nurturing relationships. Okay? So in the way that you're a powerful creator, wherever you focus, and if you focus on your flaws, it creates a certain kind of energy. Wow, they're writing crystals. So they're writing the word opal. So maybe the opal, you may want to work with that type of stone, opal. But it seems as though you might be not aware of how the things that your ego focuses on. So we have this sort of thing, let's put it this way, you're either focused on your spirit's intention, which is your spiritual practice, or you're focused on your ego's intention, which is your ego's practice. So when we focus on flaws, we're practicing ego. And the laws of attraction are neutral. It won't say, oh no, that's the ego, don't do that. Skip over that. No, it's going to amplify whatever it is that you're offering, in the same way that crystals amplify whatever you're offering. So don't just sit there and expect the crystal to attract to you the love of your life or more harmonious relationships in the family dispute if your intention is not aligned with the frequency, the technology of that device, that crystal device. I'm going to call it that. Okay? Because if you don't believe you deserve this and you're working with the crystal, it's going to amplify that. And you'll attract love, but love that's not deserving of you. Okay? It's interesting that they're bringing this kind of thing up. It's never happened before. Maybe there's something with these cards or imagery that might, we may want to pay attention to the rock formations that may be in these cards, colors, or something like that might help you. So they're writing the word excessive. And there's something, in some way, we're being excessive. And I think this excessiveness is behind compulsions. And compulsions are driven by, I'm saying the word Saturn, they're these challenges that these difficult lessons and things that we're trivializing possibly. So going back to the word, which I can't remember what it was, but the idea is that you are given too much of through this excessiveness. There it is. You are trying to replace being in connection with your inner light, your inner truth. This light might seem small and insignificant to you, but is an enormous gesture of love and fulfillment and joy and pleasure, peace, freedom. And you can, basically this is the technique of looking for love in all the wrong places, because this excessiveness, this compulsion, our consumerism is this, I don't know if this is the right word, but this adversary to this to what this is driving you. We are so used to having such elaborateness in our lives, or have access to it, or it's at least dangled out in front of us, whether it's right for us or not. And we're having trouble letting go of that. And especially during this time where the world has placed, this pandemic has placed rather, a lot of restrictions. And so we don't have access to the elaborateness that we've come accustomed to in our modern world. And so it's very challenging for a lot of people to be without so many things. And I think those things are interfering with our ability to appreciate the simple things in life, like love, the love of our loved ones, or our passions, or just the simple things that give us pleasure, appreciation for nature, and the simple things of life. It's not that the universe wants our life to be simple, but the foundation, it would like for you to know that you don't have to be more or have to have more in order to be of value. And your life can have profound meaning without all of it. And all of it should just be something that enhances, but never takes your eye off of the prize, so to speak, that you are. It's you who brings so much to the table of life, to the experience of life. It's coming from within, not the other way around. We're putting the cart before the horse, so to speak. Okay, so let's take a look at the Archangel card for the week. And it's Archangel Michael. And great energy. And the card says, you are safe. Okay, and this is an interesting concept, because a lot of people don't feel safe. They don't feel comfortable. They don't feel satisfied. They feel like we're anxious all the time, and that anxiousness really leads to being desperate, no matter what your status is. Desperation is something that everybody is cycling. And it's a dysfunction with which many people are functioning with that dysfunction. Because it's never enough. And, you know, our relationships, our jobs, our, how our outlook on life, it's never enough. There's never enough things, because none of it can actually do anything for you if you don't understand what is the origin, the source of the cause of your life. If you don't realize that the way you focus is creating a powerful magnetic point of attraction, then you're missing the boat, so to speak. And we're trying to use things to put things into place for us, when all you got to do is get down to the bare essence of who you are and what your true desires are, and realize what gives you pleasure, and what would really give you that inner peace and satisfaction. And then you'll begin to understand how safe you are, because nothing is happening without your permission. And if the whole practice of mindfulness is a spiritual practice. Your ego would rather have you chasing ghosts, so to speak, or rather than you to be mindful, because then you're never willing to confront or to be present with your personal power, and to manage it through your awareness, not just letting anything just sort of creep in there and dictate how you react to life. Okay, so the message says, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and home. So Archangel Michael is standing with his sword of light, truth, and he's ready to sever away the illusions that are creating this idea that you need more than what you have inside of you, that the things outside of you are more than the essence of your spiritual well-being. That's this thing that's off with us. That you have to understand that the total sum of your inner light, everything is equal to that at the very least. And where you see it is almost that those things outside of you are more powerful than. And that's not true, because it is that inner light that is attracting to you what you have and what you're experiencing, and your outlook on it based on the intention you are aligning with. So you're safe no matter what. That can't be eroded by your worst nightmare, because that nightmare is accruing according to your belief. And if you let that go and shift it towards optimism, and instead focus on the things that give you pleasure instead of criticizing your flaws. See, when you criticize your flaws, you create this unhealthy environment, and that is like reaping what you're sowing, basically. So instead of sowing this, sort of these inadequate feelings, so focus on your strengths. Spend some time every day when you wake up and when you go to bed, focusing on the success, your success, focusing on your gifts. You know, a lot of people do not appreciate their wiring, the way you're wired, your natural tendencies. Just because it doesn't conform with what seems to be the norm, then you end up, you know, just criticizing it to death instead of embracing it and learning how it works. It's your technology. Your personality is your own technology. It's your own wiring. Appreciate it. And you'll find that inner satisfaction more readily. Okay, let's take a look at the first card. And I have not read or with this deck. I've just only looked through it. Okay, time. The Seven of Pentacles. And, you know, there is that tendency, you can sort of see herself sort of looking in this direction and looking in this direction. You know, her hands are sort of out as if to maybe halt something, or to send out energy, or to receive it. And those are sort of like these other aspects of her, the other facets of her. But in the center, above her head, you see the Seven Pentacles. And here you see her just processing the energy through herself. And there's these roses or peonies, it's just sort of blossoming, opening up. And this idea of patience, right? Of really honing, she's really honing her intention. It's about, she understands right now that she's invested, you know, everything and to what she wants, but she's got to now just let this thing unfold and give it its time to do so to speak. And you know, the idea is that things kind of happen, things blossom on their own when you are centered in yourself and you have something to focus upon that helps you to fill in that space, that time that you have to wait for the physical. You can be really almost gardening or harnessing the life force of your spiritual intention, what the outcome. And so it's sort of like, as she's waiting, she's harnessing her intention for the outcome she wants, and she's able to receive new insights about how to continue to approach that, to continue to nurture the process. Because what this card for me really represents is that there's a process, and you have to give it time to unfold. So this is not something you're just gonna get a quick fix from. You know, you're gonna have to really be present with yourself. Sometimes the things that take a while for them to manifest is about the universe is giving us time to align with what we really want, instead of being this I want to say being sloppy with our intention, you know, and then being disappointed when, let's say, the fruit is not ripe enough, or it's too ripe, or you know, that kind of idea. All right, so let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week, and we have the Four of Wands. And this is a card. Now, for me, it's the same person, but it's sort of this duality here. But the fours are about stability. This card for me is about taking the time to really celebrate the accomplishments. And since it's the four wands, since it's both minor arcana, it may be that reminder from time to time to remember to enjoy, the small little successes, right? In order to really help build upon this this long-term investment. This is a journey. Whatever it is you're trying to manifest, that it's going to be. This is a long-term investment. You're in it for the long haul, all right, and you're committed. So if there's doubts that could possibly arise in your mind, you need to be really focused. And really keep centering. Don't let yourself split. Don't get distracted by things on the other end, and they cause you to lose this kind of conviction and sense of purpose. For me, this card is like the labor card in a way. When I think about like giving birth and the process of those months, or anything like in nature, there's a process. Like we just don't plant the seed and today we get the fruit tree, right? We have to wait for it, but we know it's coming. It's a sure investment. We know it's coming because nature plays a huge role, and nature shows us that it is very consistent in what it produces in the process. So we can trust that process. We know the process is necessary. So why struggle with it and fight against it? And then along the way, celebrate those aspects of that process. It's like with like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. When it's in the cocoon stage, we're like, oh, we're waiting, and it looks like there's nothing going on, but we know that there is. And although it seems like it's a stagnant stage, we can still celebrate that because we know what's happening at that point. And maybe in whatever it is that you're doing in your life, that you need to be, this is a reminder, okay, that you need to be aware of the stages. Maybe of what this is going to take, and maybe you haven't taken a look at this long-term plan. Maybe you need to revisit the long-term plan. Be aware of this stage. This is this stage, and so that you can clearly denote which stage you're in, and also be aware of what you're accomplishing and what you're not accomplishing. Maybe you need to be re-examining. So the sevens are about reviewing and rediscovery and re-examining. So maybe you need to be re-examining, did you meet your goals? And maybe you need to set some new goals and new expectations to meet the goals of this particular stage or the next one, so that you do better. But this is a process that you got to be in it, and you got to be dedicated, you got to be focused, you have to be organized, and be aware. But don't forget to celebrate along the way. Okay, and the other card that we have here is the Two of Wands. So whatever it is that you're doing, you really, your goal right now is that you want to impact the world in some way. For me, the Two of Wands, this particular card is about how you realizing now you have this energy that came to you in the oh my God, the microphone was never on me. Oh goodness. I hope that you can still hear, or I'm gonna have to record it. Okay, I'm not gonna stop. I'll see what happens at the end. But so you're realizing that now this new energy came through, and now you have this opportunity to, it's like this energy in the Ace of Wands, it hit you, it inspired you, it's shifted your outlook, and now you're taking this positive outlook and now you have this you're developing a relationship with the world outside of yourself, and how you can influence the world around you and your own life, how you can represent it and redefine it and mold it. So it's interesting. I love that this deck has a lot of these gateways that I've been seeing this year in my visions. And so this is powerful for me, because this kind of one shows sort of more, this is not the dimensional one that I talk about that looks like the Arc of Triumph. There's a lot of them in here. But this is sort of like a gateway, all right? And you're stepping in to a new world scene. So you're stepping through, she's standing in the gateway, and usually someone's standing with two wands. So she hasn't crossed the threshold, but she's standing in the gateway of new possibilities are opening up for her. So again, the two is about balancing, right? And I was talking about this too, the two sides of herself. It's like she's looking at two sides of herself and really celebrating herself rather than criticizing, all right? And here we have this balance. So, right now you're just balancing with this energy you've received. You're trying to figure out which directions you want to go. So whatever this long-term project is, you want to keep looking at directions and possibilities of how this thing could be shaped, and just don't sit back and be like, okay, this is what I want to do, now I'm waiting for it to unfold. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you got to dive in, you got to do some review, you got to examine, you got to keep, refining what you want, clarifying your intention, but also don't forget to mark the successes that you've had. Make sure you indicate every day some achievement, small achievement, some advancement, some improvement that you've made. And of course, there are going to be setbacks and things along the way, but you're going to look at those setbacks as lessons. You're going to figure out how to learn from them, how to improve so that those things don't occur for you again, right? So be proactive, be really engaged. Don't waste your time, knocking yourself, down, or putting yourself down and getting off the mark, basically. All right. So let's take the card. Ooh. So this is the card I pulled from the bottom of the deck. We have our first major arcana card, and it's the Death card, and that beautiful moth. Interesting. No, the snake isn't cut off here. So there's two snakes. It looks like. But their bodies don't look connected. They don't look like the same body. So it's going through some kind of, these are the scales that's leaving behind and shedding. So there may be some things in this project that you have to let go of. Okay, so don't be I'm saying the word replacement. So whatever this means for you in your life, whether it's love or work related, there are some things that you're shedding. You're shedding your skin. You're having to release some things, put some things behind, like get rid of the dead weight, get rid of the excess skin, right? Get rid of the excess in your life. You may be trying to impact the world, but your finances, there may be too many things just burdening your finances that you don't need. And this time with the pandemic, this virus, because we all have some kind of virus of being excessive, and we've been not really mindful enough and paying attention to what our soul wants. So you keep trying to maintain the responsibility of a lot of things that are just excessive, that you don't even need. And if you were to get rid of the burden of some of those things, you would find it much easier to pour your energies into the things that you really want to manifest right now. So think about letting go of like excessiveness, because that's energy split in many different directions. When you can be using the energies and the resources and your time towards a longer-term investment that's going to really pay off for you and help redirect your entire life path, set up a whole new set of conditions and circumstances. This is a difference between surviving rather, and thriving. And so this death card is telling you to let go of the excess. Get rid of it. Go through this week and see. This will be a part of that plan. This is a part of that process, because you didn't dump the weight. And I'm not telling you, in your business, to just dump people that you employ, because that comes with a karmic responsibility, especially if you're doing it just to put more money in your pocket because you don't want to let go of things that you don't need. You just want to keep your comfort. So this is not the kind of thing we're talking about here. We're talking about things, if it's over things that are, well, people are more important than things, okay? So let's put that. And this is across the world right now. And so if you have things that are holding you back, and it's holding the people you love back because you don't want to let go of those extra things, then that's a problem. That means you're really attached to them and they own you. And you'll never be in control of your life. This is why you'll always feel desperate. You could be the richest person in the world, but a rich person has desperation because they are afraid of going without those things. Their lifestyle owns them. And a lot of people right now are kind of in that situation where, when this pandemic happened, it just, a lot of people were no longer able to support the lifestyles that they were. And so this sort of has kind of put us in a position to realize that what we've been doing, that like we've just been carrying too much of a load, things that we don't need. And this will help us if you think about this. Lighten your load a little bit, get rid of the excess, and see how much more momentum and energy you will gain in order to provide a service that will be will benefit so many others, including yourself, as you find your heart being finding more rewards and satisfaction in what it is that you can do for others, rather than what you can just receive. Not to say that you shouldn't, but not that it shouldn't just be about that. And I think that's a huge paradigm shift that our world, that this virus, this pandemic is placing many people in, so that we have fewer people like this and more people so that are shifting towards the light through their actions. Okay, I will finish it there. And I will send you lots of love and lots of blessings and peace. And let's stop looking for love in all the wrong places. Okay? God bless you and have a beautiful week.